Welcome back to Daytime. Our thanks to Chef Michael Davies from the Elmhurst Inn for some amazing. I wish you could smell how great that smells because it looks fantastic as well. Thank you, Michael. And taste is just as good as it looks.
Job well done. Yes, it did. All right, time now to dispel some myths about fitness training with our good friend Kari Schneider from Empower Conditioning. So Kari, I mean, really, when it comes to fitness, there's so many myths. You must just, I mean, you as a trainer and somebody who has all those very important pieces of paper on your wall must just like cringe.
It can be embarrassing to say that I'm a personal trainer, so I typically, try and go, I'm an exercise physiologist, I'm a strength coach, because there's tons of crap out there. So this is a magazine that I really like. I subscribe
I'll
to
take
this
that
magazine.
one.
That's one of my favorite magazines.
So it's Outside Magazine, but it could be a men's health, it could be a GQ, it could be a women's fitness, it could be running magazine, it could be anything like that. So what we're going to look at in this magazine is, and I'm going to quiz you guys here for a second.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We're going to look at some myths because they're featuring in this magazine a 10 myths kind of thing. So
All right.
I'm going to ask you a little question and see what you think. Stretching prevents injuries and improves performance. True or false?
False.
No.
Oh, what do we do?
It's true. I only know this because Kari's my trainer.
I know
I
this.
have to stretch a lot.
I know this because I don't stretch at all.
Okay.
And I'm injury free.
So, truth, this is what the magazine is going to say. It could ruin your 10K time, meaning stretching could ruin your 10K time. So let's try to see between the lines here.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
So research has shown that if you stretch prior to doing a sprint, doing some jumping, doing a run that you have to do your best performance at, it has shown that it can slow your time. And part of this is because your muscle tissue, tendon tissue is elastic tissue for a lot of us. Some of us getting older, it gets a little stiffer as you go along, right? But it's elastic tissue. You stretch it out. It doesn't have as much recoil, as much spring, as much pop and snap when you need to jump far, you need to sprint fast, or you need to have a good time run.
So it'll slow you down.
Right. But if you are not addressing the really tight areas, that is going to be a precursor for a little tweak or you can be missing out on the range of motion that you need for a certain movement, such as your running stride, such as whatever your sport is or whatever you need to do. So take it with a grain of salt. Realize that stretching preventing injuries, well, no, if you're stretching before the stuff you're doing, that doesn't mean it's going to prevent an injury. It's the time and the place. Do a dynamic warm-up, something that neurologically prepares your body for what you're about to do. Do the static stretching later on the key areas that might need a little more range of motion or might be a little stiff or too tight. So kind of, read between the lines.
Okay.
So I was right.
We're both right.
We'll
Okay.
do rock, paper, scissors later.
Question number 2.
Okay. Core strength, you must have it to perform your best. True or false?
True.
Must? I would say not must.
Okay, so this is a myth number 3 here we're looking at. You need to focus on your core to become a better athlete. They say that core strength is probably overrated. You risk injury by focusing too specifically on it. So most people are going to read this and go, oh, I don't need to worry about my core anymore. That's a myth. Oh, we're done.
Right.
Kind of thing. Me and my core are breaking up. So, but in reality, you need to think of, most people are thinking the core is right here and that's it and that's your core and I'm going to do 100 crunches and focus on my core.
It's just not your tummy though, right?
No, you're missing the boat. To me, your core is literally from here to down here, and if everything is not balanced and strong enough in certain areas and has the range of motion in other areas, that's what's going to take away from your performance. So again, look at this in a way that goes, what is it really saying? And yeah, they're picking on one very, very specific thing, but this whole picture is so complex.
Balance, the key word.
Exactly. Do we have time for another one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at, how about dehydration hurts race performance, true or false?
Oh, absolutely.
You just want to disagree with him.
Yeah,
I know why
but
you're
you
pausing.
know the right answer. You know the right answer.
Why did you have to? Yeah,
Oh, but
he's
listen,
right.
what they're going to say is overhydrating is more likely to sabotage your personal record.
Really?
So they're basically saying you drink too much. Now, here's what I can say. You know if you're dehydrated you aren't going to perform as well. There's research that shows that if you're 5 to 10% lower on your body weight from dehydration, your performance will suffer. There's been multiple research articles for that. But there's more research coming out saying, oh, but if you're only in that 3 to 4% of dehydration, that's not going to hurt you at all. You're going to be okay. And now they're going, well, you know what though, if you overhydrate, and this can be an issue, if you overhydrate, that can affect your performance. If you think of a gymnast or a runner, you have too much water in your stomach. This is just a physical thing. This isn't a into your blood cellular level, but just the weight of the too much water in your stomach, you've got a gravitational thing going on, right?
Yeah.
That bounce from your stomach is going up against your diaphragm, and you can get those little stitches. You ever start running? Yeah, you get the little stitches. Sometimes that's from too much in your stomach at the time.
It just sounds so gross.
Nasty. Okay, real quickly, what's the moral of the story then?
The moral of the story is there's useful information in magazines. They're often quoting a research article. That's a good thing. However, it's usually very, very specific, and you have to get the bigger picture in. If you're not sure how it applies to you, doesn't matter whether it's barefoot running, supplementation, stretching, you name it, talk to a professional who's going to be looking at all the research instead of just one pinpointed thing.
Do you buy magazines?
This is my subscription. This is the only magazine I subscribe to right now, and typically I don't. I have a lot of research. I get research journals.
It's a fun magazine.
So I love this magazine though. It's great. So
thanks, Kari.
no problem.
The moral of the
helps.
story is see a professional like Kari Schneider at empowerconditioning.com.
That's going to be the moral every segment.
Yeah.
Don't believe everything you read as well.
Absolutely.
And don't believe this guy.
What?
Who believes the guy with blue hair?
Have a look at our pet of the day.